of Uber's biggest problems to get drivers to get back is that people see through their 250 million BS bait and switch campaign, right? This article again confirms exactly what I've been saying week for week. So they say, hey, Uber and Lyft, you got to woo drivers back with stable pay, better pay, right? That's the number one reason people come back. Not these short-term little honeypots, right? Oh, here's a little honeypot for you. It'll last 24 hours, 48 hours. Take it, enjoy the sweetness, and then we take it away from you. So gig companies want to win back labor through promotions and bonuses, but the workers can see right through their bogus claims, right? And the culture that Uber and Lyft engages in, they think that drivers are stupid enough to fall for their same tricks, shenanigans, and bait and switch over and over again, right? Drivers are way too smart, right? We analyze our numbers, we do our numbers, we know what they're up to, right? And we're not going to let stupid algorithms and corrupt executives con us, right? That's the bottom line. That's straight talk from me. Now, what are the real choices confronting gig workers as they consider their employment options in the post-pandemic world? As the push to get America back to work begins, employers are lamenting that no one wants to work anymore. Low-wage industries in particular are struggling to fill positions amid a record high number of job openings, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. To counter this, employers such as Uber and Lyft are trying to incentivize drivers with promises of bonuses, while more than 18 states are opting to cut extended unemployment benefits early, citing government relief as a disincentive to work. Both strategies fundamentally miss the point. We have been speaking to gig workers across the country, as have I, for months as part of a project led by Dr. Julia Ticona at University of Pennsylvania Annenberg School for Communication. Julia, hit me up. I'd love to have you on the show. One of our key learnings is that unemployment benefits have not disincentivized work, but given workers the space to refuse the vagaries and indignities of the gig labor market. We are less desperate, one worker said, but the companies need desperate people to work for them. That's so true. Gig workers are now simply asking for a fair and equal system that does not separate worker needs from human needs. One of these needs is fair compensation. Are you listening, Logan Green? Are you listening, John Zimmer? Are you listening, Dara Khosrowshahi? Listen to this. One of these is fair compensation, fair pay, better rates for their work. We're not going to work for pennies and peanuts. We're not stupid. The flood of promotions that Uber and Lyft are sending out is doing little to convince drivers that a stable, well-paying job awaits. Some drivers recognize the bonuses as yet another example of the problem with gig work: short-term honeypots rather than long-term pay raises. Marco, an Uber driver, said he only drove now when there was a promo or street bonus, right? Since the base pay didn't even cover gas and driving expenses. Without a promo between driving and doing nothing, sometimes doing nothing is better. I agree, right? Why put on miles on your frickin' car and run up your maintenance costs and not get paid for it? Maybe if they just increased our per mile rate, thank you, Marco, drivers would go back on the road. Dara, listen to Marco. John, a driver from Kentucky, wants to work, but the wildly varying promos are making it harder for him to calculate when to resume driving. On any given day, he's unable to predict whether the bonus being offered will offset his operating costs. Fellow drivers are offered individualized promos. Some are being paid $225 for 15 rides, while others are being offered $15 for 3 rides. To add to the uncertainty, drivers feel they cannot fully trust Uber and Lyft's messaging. The companies have a history of baiting and switching with the wage guarantees. How do I know they're offering me a real bonus and not just giving me another bullshit offer with hidden terms? Thank you, John. Thank you. I only find out after I've already gone out and spent my gas and time. Not knowing the amount of money you're likely to make home at the end of the day's work is an unattractive proposition. I know with unemployment that will get $900 every week. The week will be, the check will be in the mail, says Andres, an Uber driver who pivoted to Instacart and Shipt during the height of the pandemic, choosing that reliability over constantly playing guess how many bananas it would take to make minimum wage seems like a no-brainer to him. Who would want to willingly return to that, he asked. Yet the impending cut-off from unemployment benefits has left some gig workers in a difficult position. Takara, a house cleaner on TaskRabbit, depleted much of her savings at the start of the pandemic when cleaning gigs suddenly vanished and has been relying on unemployment checks. I know nothing is going to go back to normal, she noted, but she hoped she could find something stable now that she is worse off financially than when the pandemic started. Treatment of workers during the pandemic has also made many workers wonder why they should work for companies that do not value their loyalty or effort. Workers report feeling left high and dry, alone on the road with no support, as one driver said. Uber closed its driver hubs and cut per mile rates. Shipt and Instacart oversaturated the market without any notice. Some have justifiably expressed a sense of betrayal at their treatment. We were doing the job for people because they didn't want to put their health at risk. We were putting ours at risk for them. Did we get danger pay? No. They returned the favor by giving us a pay cut. Elsewhere, gig workers are assessing the health of risks to return to normal. Omar, a ride-hail driver in Florida, said though he was vaccinated, he was nervous about Uber removing its mask requirements. He hopes Uber consults drivers before doing so, but he does not have much hope given the company's historical treatment of drivers. Reflecting on the last year, he realized that asking customers to wear a mask was perhaps the first time he remembered Uber advocating for driver welfare. That made us feel good, said another driver. As if for once Uber cared about our health too. Our research further confirms that by not returning to work immediately, these workers are showing us that they are fed up with the instability of cyclical layoffs and hires, with playing games to make a livable wage, right? Dara, listen up. Stop playing games. John Zimmer, stop playing games. Apurva Mehta, stop playing games. Tony Zhu, stop playing games with humans, right? These are humans. So not test rabbits, lab rats. They're humans, right? With playing games to make a livable wage and exposing themselves to health risks, with being at the mercy of algorithmic changes as they shoulder all the risk without any say in the system's design. The pandemic magnified many aspects of gig work that have always been unsustainable. We can no longer be sending workers every day into such adversarial workplace. Longer-term solutions are needed that respond to worker needs on their return, a wage that rewards their effort, a transport and reliable pay scale, company policies that don't treat them as dispensable. Reflecting on her experience of being constantly let down by the platform, she risked her life for Kai, a Shipt worker from North Carolina, mused, I feel like it's going to come back to me, maybe in my next life. It's time to repay workers for the essential service in this lifetime, not in the next. What a brilliant, brilliant piece. Ladies and gentlemen, please check out Legal Rideshare. I hope you never, ever, ever get into an accident. If you do, please contact Brian Greening. There he is. He cares about drivers. I've spoken to him several times. He mixes it up with them. He asks them. He has a phenomenal Twitter channel. He has a phenomenal Facebook group that you can join. He gives tons of free legal good advice. You want to go and check out Brian Greening's channel. Ladies and gentlemen, please comment on this amazing, amazing article. I think it nails and highlights all the points, right? That we are smart enough. We no longer fall for the bait and switch campaigns. What we need is better pay, real pay, right? Not these short-term little honeypots, Dara and John.